day was back in high school, and it was during my junior year. So during my junior year, it was my first day, or not my first day, but it was my first year on varsity, which meant like I wasn't starting because there was a senior starting over me, which was okay. I was okay with that. And so on my best day prior to this, we had just found out that we made CIF, and which was like great. Everyone was super excited. But also prior to this week, we had found out that the senior that was starting over me decided to ride a skateboard downhill. Like she fell and a bunch of skin got tore off of her legs, so she couldn't play. So that meant my first starting game was going to be during our first CIF game, which for me, I was like, great. Like, I'm going to be the reason we lose this game. This is going to be a great game. So, and it turns out that the drive over there is an hour and a half to 2 hours because we got a wild card. So we're heading over there, and I'm like sitting on the bus, like anxious the whole time. I'm just kind of like, oh God, like great, this is going to be great. So I'm sitting there, and then we get there, and I'm like, I calmed down a little bit. The bus ride was fun. We played some music, had a good time. And so we get there, and then we start warming up. And then we start warming up, and then the nerves come back. And so I'm kind of like, okay, great. Like, I actually have to play. This is great. And I suck at hitting, so, like, terrible. So I don't have to hit it, so that's a good thing. Because, like, it won't be my fault. That won't be really horrible if I mess up. So I'm not hitting, which means, like, there's a DP for me. So I'm only running for her, and then I'm doing defense. So we're like, the game starts, and then it's back and forth. You know, we're both pretty good because it's CIF. So it's they score, we score, they score, we score. So it's like tied and tied. So we get into the 6th inning. So it's now the 6th inning, and we're tied up, which means we have to score and win and hold them, or obviously they're going to score and then they win. So it's the 6th inning, and there's already 2 outs. And at 2 outs, like, we're all like on the edge of our seats. We're all nervous. Like, this is great. So I'm not hitting. So there's 2 outs, and then Myra's up, who's the senior that got hurt. So she's hitting, and then so she gets a great hit, gap between shortstop and third, goes to outfield. So now I'm on second base because, well, I get to first base, and then Kristen comes up, which is another great hitter. Like, she's great. So she's up to bat, and like she's our last chance. Like, she has to get me. I'm at first, so she has to get me all the way home. And so she watches the first strike, and so I still second because I'm kind of a little fast, or I was. And so I'm on second base, and so she has to hit, like, she either has to hit the ball to the wall, or like, I don't know, she has to work a miracle in order to get us to score. So she's up, and I'm on second, and so there's 2 outs, which means if anyone hits the ball, I'm going, like, I'm sprinting all the way to home. So she hits the ball, and like, I'm just sprinting because it doesn't matter where the ball goes. I need to sprint as fast as I can. So I'm sprinting, and then I turn the base, and like, I'm at third now. So I kind of turn and look, and I don't see a ball anywhere. So I'm like, okay, great, this is great. My coach didn't say anything, which she's normally supposed to. So I'm like, okay, great. I don't see the ball, but Kristen's kind of like jogging around the bases. So I was like, all right, well, they caught the ball, we're out. So I kind of start like just jogging. So I finally get to home plate, and then I kind of like turn around to see my coach, and he's like sprinting towards home plate. And I was like, what are you doing? So I turn around, and everyone's sprinting out of the dugout, and then Kristen's still jogging around the bases, and I figure out like she hit a home run, and we just won our first CIF game. And then, you know, we did the whole dog pile, and then we're all screaming and jumping around. And yeah, that was the best day of my life.